All right, I've got to get the ball rolling today, and what we're going to do is install, or at least run, the Teleflex cables. We have one cable to shift gears, and one cable for the actual throttle itself. As you can see, they connect onto here. However, I do not have the connectors, unfortunately. I wasn't really thinking. Maybe I thought that they came attached on here, but they don't. And then we're going to install this throttle, the monocle as it is, run all the wiring, and then we're going to install the gauge plate and the gauges themselves, and then we can call it a day. I think I'm going to install the bow rail today as well. And if you're wondering about the whole fuel line fiasco, I think I figured out a solution. All right, so obviously I need to get a new fitting for here. And again, this explains why the fuel hose was so big. It's because it's not a fuel hose, it's a vent hose. But in all honesty, I don't understand why you need such a big vent hose, but maybe they know better than me. So I need a new brass fitting that'll fit the fuel hose itself, maybe something closer to that size. And then the vent that was out here, you know, it would make sense for me to just run that hose under where this is, but if you recall, I didn't leave much room for the hose through the stringers. And this is a bigger hose, so there won't be any room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out. I'm going to fill this or just put something in there temporarily, and then I'm going to put the vent where it previously was. You can see the discoloration a little bit right there. That's where the vent previously was. And I'm just going to run the hose from where the vent is itself and through probably this stringer right here, and then back, and then I'll drill a hole up through here, which I was going to do anyway for the trim tabs and stuff, but I'm going to drill a hole up through the floor right there, just like there is one on the other side, and then I'll be able to pop it out this just like the bilge is on the other side. That way, I don't need to worry about getting a big hose that is long enough to reach all the way up there, and then trying to figure out how to fish it through, because again, there's no way there's a big enough hole. And then I'll just pull that hose that's already up there out, use that for the fuel hose, because that's more than long enough, and should be good. Alright. Always take more than you need, because last time it pulled off. Hope that's enough. Starter right there. There we go. It's a little snug getting around this corner, even though they're all 45s, but we got it. Have it out here, see what I can do to install it, or to measure it, to make sure I can install it once I get the ends. Whew. It's hot. I'm going to turn this all the way so we can get a measurement from its furthest point. Alright, so that's about where it needs to be. You can see that in there, and it is running all the way out. There's this black cable right here. It is going down the rigging tube. It is coming up out of this rigging tube, going straight up and popping out of this. We have a little bit more room than we need, which is exactly what I wanted. I'd rather it be a little bit too long. So, you know, it comes all the way up here. It really needs to be like, what, at least 6 inches below that. So we should be good. Remember, this is fully turned to the right, because this is the furthest extension that this is going to get from that corner over there. So with that being said, I think we are good. I'm not going to run the other one just yet. I'm going to bring it in so I can get some fittings for it. I also got to figure out the fittings that we need for over here, but we should be good. Honestly, with how everything's been going, I'm surprised it fit, but it did just enough. And that actually is how I measured it, from it turned all the way to the right, all the way up to where that throttle is going to be. In all honesty, I thought I measured maybe like 14 foot or a little bit above 14 foot because I couldn't get an exact measurement. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to round up. I'm probably forgetting a couple inches or a foot here, so I'm going to round all the way up to 16 foot, and I can throw any slack underneath. But when it's fully extended, we don't really have any slack. So, hey, good thing I did that rounding up part. All right, camera died because Y'all know how it is. I installed the gauge plate and the 2 gauges into there. I wasn't exactly sure how the brackets went on there, but that's how they're on there. They're just kind of pushing up against it, and obviously it's not wired in. Those will be wired into, I believe, my key switch, which will be like right here. So binnacle, key switch, and then I'll be putting my switchboard, you know, with my trim tab switches, with my nav light switch and the bilge switch and all that stuff somewhere around here. But that's that. All right, so we already got that one in there. We are going to do that one next. Just as a reminder, look, I got these, well, I had these. No, I got these screws. Just gonna dip the end, 5200. I typically put a little bit more on there than that, but I think, shit. All right, there we go. I'm gonna hit it with this. These holes are actually a little bit bigger than this, but there is another board underneath it. And I'm just going to slide in just like so. And I'm going to drill or screw that in. So yeah, pretty straightforward. That's exactly what we have going on right there. There we go. Well, looks like we have the bow rail in there. I think there are 1 or 2 Allen screws I have to go in. Here's good, but there are a few spots like here. And then underneath here, if y'all could see that. These 2 holes don't have one, but those 2 do. I gotta make sure everything's tight as well. And then you can see the rest. Let's get a backup shot. Very nice. I like that.